Some may argue today that the church is completely collapsing, and fair enough in certain circles. I can understand where that comes from. However, what I want to argue in this video is that actually over the centuries, the exact opposite is happening. I'm going to quote, but then also repurpose this quote from St. John Henry Newman when he says that the world judges rightly. I want to say yes and amen to that in a sense, in that the doctrines of the world, of world Christendom, converge over the centuries in a beautiful pattern. And this is an Anglican we would call the Vincentian canon, or that which is believed always and everywhere and by all. So to give a couple examples, you can look at the doctrine of the Eucharist, Archic 1, or the Anglican Roman Catholic International Commission, the Substantial Agreement on the Eucharist, 1970. Check it out, it's very important. You can also see this and notions like anamnesis, this beautiful agreement. This is beyond Roman Catholicism and Roman Catholicism and Anglicanism. This is pretty much across the board in more traditional historic Christian circles. But this notion of anamnesis, that at the Eucharist or at the Mass, there's only one Mass. And what you have is you have the once for all sacrifice of Christ represented on each and every altar. You have the eschaton coming into the present. You have the Pasch coming into the present. And each saint's table ever celebrated is all one. This is built off the Jewish notion of the Seder meal, and then goes even further, obviously, in Christian understanding. This is a beautiful convergence that's gotten over some of the polemics of the last 500 years, right? We see this in so many other ways as well. There's this unity from Vatican II, which, by the way, has many Anglican inklings in it. I'm not saying it's strictly, obviously, it's built off Roman Catholic thought as well. But like the Nouvelle Theologians, for example, led by Henri de Lubac. One of the leading Henri de Lubac scholars in the world is Hans Boersma, who teaches at the Oxford of the Americas at the Shota House as an Anglican. And he argues for this beautiful Augustinian notion of sign and sacrament being properly balanced, which was an Anglican concern from the very beginning, a patristic, a biblical and patristic approach concern. However, at the same time, Anglicanism profoundly learns from Roman Catholicism. Look at the 19th century Oxford movement. It regrounds itself in a more proper and rich ecclesiology. And it's not that we had lost our ecclesiology, but we needed to learn that from Rome. You see in Gaudium et Spes, with the opening to scientific inquiry from Vatican II. They learn from Lux Mundi, which was an earlier Anglican movement about the beauty of the natural world, and it regrounds us in a proper Thomistic understanding of natural revelation. So anyways, so many ways we're learning from one another. I just want to argue in this video, the unity of the church is coming, and it's a beautiful thing, even with all the mess. It's something for us that we need to keep working at. God bless.